There are so many text splitting methods in LangChain. For example, LNTK text splitter, sentence token transformer text splitter, markdown header text splitter, Python code, latex, HTML, token, recursive character. But what we will talk about in today's session is character text splitter only. How we need to define this text splitter, how we will be performing this operation using the code. Let's see how this would be respective code. Okay, I'm going to first let's see how we can load this document and then how we can import in our kernel. So I'm going to select this env LLM. This would be selecting, and I'm going to run my first library. This would be pip install and docx2TXT. This would be installing document to text installation. So this library is being installed in my LangChain environment LLM. Okay, now I'm going to depict what kind of metadata do I have in my LangChain. So I'm going to write pip show LangChain. Let's run to see the metadata here. Here you can see so many other terms are showing here. This metadata is regarding my LangChain only. Okay, now I'm going to import the docx2 text loader here in my portal. So I'm going to import this library. Now I need to import some documents. So this document is already there in my Jupyter notebook. If you can go down, you can see this document is already there. You can find these documents in the description box or in my GitHub account. I'll share the link also. Let's come back to our loader. So I'm going to import my documents here inside my documents and going to load my documenter here. So I'm going to load my documents and will provide page documents there. Now let's see what kind of page documents is there. Here you can see this page document is containing page underscore docx. Let's see the content. This is showing the content of my documents. So this is showing entire document only, and I'll have to divide into multiple segment. Here you can see this is a splitter. What would be the character splitter in LangChain? What would be the chunk size? We can decide at our own. So for a quick review of this overlap, this is overlapping 4 alphabet. Here you can see 1 2 3 4 including space, and we have created this character splitted on the basis of total characters, number of chunks, average chunk size, and made ourselves familiar with splitter method. This would be respective chunk number 2 3 4 and so on. Okay, so with this chunk I'm going to implement my other part here. So first I have load my document splitter. I'm going to load my document splitter again. Here I'm going to load pages, and here I'm going to join every page in a single code. Here I have joined each page here. Let's see what's the ingredient of page number 0 here. This is the page number 0, and this page number 0 will contain all the relevant documents here. So this is also consisting several words here. Now I'm going to check what is the length of my content. This page number 0 is having how many words? Let's see. Can you see it's having 8259. So I'll have to define this chunk into a smaller pieces. Here you can see first one is a separator. This separator might be another thing. For example, I'm defining this a dot operator. You can define it as dollar or any rupee symbol or any hashtag or any other special character you can write instead of dollar symbol. Now I'm going to define my chunk size, which is 500 only, and chunk overlap is 50. So another parameter we can specify chunk overlap. So chunk overlap corresponds to the number of characters overlapping between subsequent chunks. Let's continue our example. Consider our 1500 characters document is split into chunks of 500 characters each. So this would be 500, 500 and 500. This is divided into 3 parts. We can now study how the number of splits will change if we introduce a chunk overlap 50. So can you see, this would be 50 overlap, this would be a 50 overlap. Okay, so the first chunk remain unchanged. So this would be the 50 overlap. This would be a chunk number 1. Okay. The second chunk, however, begins with last character. So the first chunk continues by taking 450 character from the rest of the text. So this would be 450 and the previous 50 only. Okay, so this, how many chunks we have taken? We have taken, as of now, out of 1500 we have taken only 950. Okay, 500 previous in previous chunk, 450 in new chunk. So this chunk number will have 500 but 50 from previous, 450 from next. So we have consumed 950. Now with this 950, again in chunk number 3 we have 450 again. So now what will happen? This chunk number 3 will contain again 500 but 500 from previous. So what we have done, so we have taken more 450 values. So this would be 950 plus 450. So this would be 1400. Okay, so by taking the rest of the text, 100 will be there in chunk number 4. Okay, so this is how we can define everything. Let's explain in other words also. For example, I'm having 1500 chunks in my document. 1500 characters are there. This is 1500 character. So first chunk is containing 500. The second chunk is containing 500 only, but here is the counter 0, here is the counter 500. But what we have done here is how much we have consumed. We have consumed only 950. Okay, now I'm going to check. This is the chunk number 1. This is chunk number 2, and I'm going to take 50 from this side and rest 450. This would be naming as check number 3. So how much we have taken? We have taken only 450. So 550 from this side and 450 from this side. So 950 plus 450. This point, at this point we have consumed only 1300. All right, sorry, 1400. 950 plus 450 would be 1400. Okay, so we have consumed only 1400. What about this 100 chunk remaining? This would be jump to chunk number 4. This is the meaning of chunk overlap 50 means here. And we are creating how many chunks? This might be calculative, but you can check this code as well, how this is going to explain. Okay, so I'll have to import this chunk splitter again. Maybe I have not imported that library, so I'm going to import that library again. So this would be a respective chunk splitter. Okay, now I'm going to create a chunk of my documents again. Now I'm going to show how many pages are there. So I can see this would be my chunk pages character splitter is there, and splitted pages are there. Can you see? This is going to split it and split documents. And let's see how many pages are there. pages per split. Here we can see 21 splits are there in per page. So I'm going to show page number 0. Here you can see this is page number 0 content, and let's see how many pages, what's the content of page number 2. Here is the content of page number 2. Let's see what's the length of page number 21. This is page number 21, which means we have 124 splitting remaining here. Okay, so what's happening here? Here we have divided this 8259. So if you will divide this 8259, divide by how many chunks we have divided 500. Okay, so let's run. Can you see this is 16? So with this 16 we have only 16, but we have taken chunk overlap as 550 only, which means we are creating 50 overlapping there. Now let's say I'm going to create this 0. Okay, now I'm going to check this only and this. Can you see this is taking 20 only? Okay, this is how we can change the chunk number as well. Okay, let's make it 20 only. Okay, now I'm going to create another chunk with this proper value. Okay, so this would be another chunk character splitter. With this character splitter I'm going to define separator, which is nothing, character size is 500, and chunk overlap is 0, means I'm not going to overlap anything. This might be separated with this value. Separator might be any split at spaces. This might be new line. You want to split every character, so you do not do nothing, which we are doing here. Previously we were splitting with the dot period only. Okay, now I'm going to define pages character split with this split documents. So I'm going to define this pages only. Now I'm going to define this length. Can you see the length of this pages? This would be the 21, because we have 21 documents. Now I'm going to define this value. This would be 500, and here you can see this would be the 500. Okay, now can you see this 518 into 500? This would be defining into another part. Let's say I'm going to define this value. Can you see this value would be 382? Okay, now I'm going to define this value, define this content. This would be the content where I'm going to split the last value. Okay, if you want to see the previous content, you can just decrease the number of elements. Here you can see the respective values are showing here. Okay, so this is how you can define your chunk splitter, you can define your chunk size, and you can define your chunk overlap as well. Keep learning, keep growing. Okay, previously, because I just created that code new 2 times or 3 times, so it was showing length is 21 or something. Now it's showing correct length, which is 617, and here you can see this 8259 divided by 500 is 16. So this is just dividing this value, and here you can see the last pages is containing 259 only. This is the remaining character we are forwarding to the last page. If you can see this pages content, this is all about the 259 chunks. So here you can see the previous one, here you can see the 259. Okay, now I'm going to make it this correction that this is not the correct chunk, and this would be the length of my entire value. Here you can see the chunk is also showing the respective part. This is how you can create the respective RAG for the same. Keep learning, keep growing.